Hello, my name is David Bravo, and this is my applied senior project for the Masters of Arts in Special Education with a concentration in Applied Behavior Analysis over at Arizona State University. My project is called The Effects of Music Strategies on Cleanup or Tidying Up Behaviors in Toddlers. Introduction. Cleaning up or putting away toys is a foundational skill that develops into a tolerance for transitions and adhering to a set schedule. Furthermore, cleaning up and putting away toys leads to the understanding of social norms and adherence to schedules and rules. My question was, can the implementation of a cleanup song assist with learning the behaviors of putting away toys? In this study, my learner was Natty, a 2.5-year-old girl currently receiving early intervention and awaiting a psych evaluation to determine her diagnosis. She displays some delays in her developmental milestones. Natty engages in crying and tantrum behaviors when transitioning to a new activity, such as potty time, a shower, sitting on her car seat, etc. And the behavior begins when she is told to clean up her toys. Research shows that supporting a toddler's autonomy in socialization context fosters better rule internalization. In other words, joining the child in child-led play increases the establishing operations that motivate that child to engage in adherence to social norms and rule and engagement in rule governing behaviors. The method for this project, it was a single subject design with a multiple baseline EIBI design. The independent variable was the implementation of a cleanup song. The dependent variable was the act of cleaning up or putting away toys that were played with. The method for recording was incidental continuous recording, and the baseline procedures were the verbal SD cleanup was delivered. The intervention procedures were the cleanup song was sung and the behavior is modeled, or in some cases were hand over hand. In the data, for days where more prompting was required, playtime was extended a little bit further, so that Natty had enough of an opportunity to decrease her tantrum behaviors and be able to engage meaningfully with playtime. The steps for carrying out this study's design. Present the plastic receptacle where toys were originally held. When playtime is over, deliver the instruction to put away toys. The delivery of instructions can be either verbal SD or singing the cleanup song, depending on which part of the experiment you are on. Mark C for correct when the learner puts away a toy upon instruction. The results of the study demonstrated that in Figure 1, looking at the baseline phase data, you could see that Natty's rate of responding to cleanup was fairly low. However, in Figure 2, we see the intervention phase, and we see that once the priming strategies of singing cleanup, as well as other priming strategies that were first introduced during the baseline procedure, such as a visual schedule with visual cues that primed Natty about the order and sequence of said activities. First, depending on the context, if it was the beginning of the day, we would tell her, okay, Natty, look, it's time to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Make it fun and engaging and everything. And then when she's fully awake, we would tell her, all done with wake up. Oh, there's your friend Bluey. Okay, what's next on the schedule? Okay, you're gonna read. Okay, So every time she completes an activity, we would say all done and take it off the schedule, put it somewhere out of reach so she would not get distracted. And these activities would culminate with cleanup. So she had a visual cue that was priming her for the fact that cleanup time was coming. As on different days, as the study progressed, we gradually started fading out. I and her other therapists and caregivers on the team, we started fading out all of these prompting strategies, so that the only ones would be either a verbal SD of cleanup or the musical priming strategy, and then let some time pass, and then we would deliver the verbal SD. In figure 3 of the data, you can see that during the first baseline, the behavior was not observed to occur consistently independently. However, after the intervention was implemented, there was an increase in behavioral response. During the second baseline, the behavior occurred with very minimal prompting. You can see in the figure in figure 3 that the data reflects that after intervention was implemented and then removed, the behaviors returned at a higher level than in initial baseline, and they maintained at that level. Discussions of the results of this study. The implementation of the cleanup song as a priming strategy led to faster acquisition of tidying up behaviors and an increase in tolerance for transitions, according to the data. In learners with strong rapport with their caregivers, the combination of musical strategies and child-directed play can help motivate learners to follow rules and transition between activities. My main limitation in this study was treatment fidelity. Not all caregivers of the learner adopted the same strategies. One example is that the learner's father used a different approach. For interventions to be effective, however, total family empowerment and engagement is required per current literature. With that being said, the implications of the results of this study are that, considering all facts of all factors that are present in this specific situation, Natty is awaiting diagnosis to determine whether or not she has autism. Her current team, her current educational team, consisting of developmental therapist, an occupational therapist, a speech therapist, as well as her family members who are experienced in the medical field, are noticing that her symptoms, her behavioral symptoms, are also very similar to that of those individuals with ADHD. So until Natty receives her diagnosis, her official diagnosis, we don't know what conditions she actually has. She's actually living with. However, considering the fact that she is currently undergoing EIBI, early intensive behavioral intervention, the results of this study imply that music therapy strategies such as pairing transitions with musical reinforcers can have a positive effect on the skill acquisition of cleanup behaviors in toddlers who are undergoing early intensive behavioral intervention for a possible diagnosis of either autism or attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. Some of my references used for this project can be found on the attached poster but I will include a complete list of my sources in the attached abstract that coincides with this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely evening.